Give me the battery. Give me the battery. Hey. Give me the battery. No? You want to vlog by yourself? Yeah. You want to vlog by yourself? Lily, give me the battery. And then she was gone. Hey guys, welcome to Silicon Valley Girl. In this video, we have an important topic to discuss. Let me start with a story, and then I'm gonna tell you what I think. So I went to Miami and I made a photo shoot, a feminine photo shoot with me and a newspaper. Because this is what I felt. I felt like I wanted to do something like fashion-like with this weird face. And I posted that picture on my Instagram. If you're not yet subscribed, please follow me on Instagram as well, because it's more kind of a lifestyle content. And I started getting mixed feedback. Like, are you really an entrepreneur posting these photos? Are you really an English language teacher posting these photos? How can a mom of two post such pictures? And the thing is, if that happened 3 or 4 years ago, I'll be like, oh, maybe they're right. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. And of course there were people who support me, and you guys are amazing. People who watch my videos who understand that everyone is different. But like 4 years ago, if somebody told me, Marina, you shouldn't do this, I would have listened, and I would have listened to almost everyone. So in this video, we're gonna talk about this transformation that I think is super important for everyone watching. Like this example of me going from a girl who wants to be liked by everyone to a woman, or whatever you want to call a 32-year-old, who is really aware of who she is, and still, like, hate and negative comments hurt. I was just talking to Graham Stephan on his podcast, The Iced Coffee Hour. The link will be down below, check it out. I think it was Jack who said, you still need 100 positive comments to not really care about the one negative comment you saw, because this is by our nature. Like, we are more attentive to negative things because we see them as a threat and want to focus on them. But it's whether they affect your strategy or not. And this is what we're talking about in this video. And now we're heading to this amazing event organized by some people who watch this channel. And it's called Innovation Forum, and it's in Hillsborough. So let's go. Basically, the way I found out about this house, a girl who watched me when she was 16, and back then she lived in a village in Ukraine. She was watching my videos and she got inspired to come to an American university, and she ended up getting accepted and then dropping out, getting Thiel scholarship and starting her own venture capital fund. And she lives in this house. There are 8 people who live here, and they throw cool events, cool parties. And another guy who lives here, he also watched my channel, and he said, I had it on my list to like have you as one of the guests, like have Silicon Valley Girl as a guest on some of the parties, and here I am. He invited us. This actually makes so much sense. If you're younger and don't have kids, you just rent a palace and live here. I know so many stories of people doing this, and have visited a couple of friends who are renting mansions, and it's like 8 people. I don't know how much it costs. I have no idea. Maybe like 20K a month, I'm thinking. But then if you divide it by 8, it actually makes a lot of sense. With local prices, of course, not like worldwide.
It's a community of like technologists and founders from like AI, robotics, longevity, augmented reality. I'm the crypto and creator economy batch of the house, so I have all like the equipment and gear. But it's nice, mostly like deep tech. But we also host really dope events like Future Forum.
Amazing parties.
My name is Sejal.
He invited me here.
Yes, I invited you here. I'm a little creator myself. I've been making videos about me building my company instead of going to college. So you can find that out on Sejal One.
How old are you?
I'm 18 years old.
This is like, I feel so old when somebody starts a company, lives in this cool house, and does things like this.
I really appreciate it.
And I'm 32.
But you built so many cool stuff.
When I was 18, I was like,
Yeah.
Like, what's going on in the world?
No, but it's so great. I'm like personally really inspired by you.
Thank you.
What's very impressive about you is that you've been able to build up like 3 pretty big channels in different niches.
They're different.
And I'm like, yo, that's actually really credible. Most people are able only to make like one thing work, but you found like, I don't know, like you're the
Like
own thing.
having multiple personalities, I think like the more languages you speak, the more lives you have. This is what I feel.
And the more audience you reach.
Exactly.
Oh my
this
God.
Is why like Russian audience is like this completely.
Do you ever think about like dubbing your English content over?
Just started. Oh my
just
God.
started?
It's crazy. Like we got 15,000 subscribers in a month.
In a month?
In
Oh my.
Spanish. And people are like, do you speak Spanish? Show your real voice. Like it's.
Really?
It's
Where's this launched on? Is it like TikTok or like
TikTok and YouTube Shorts.
YouTube? Oh my
And
God.
it's been growing crazy.
No, shorts make sense for translation because it's so easy.
So you see, in my shorts, the way I do them, I make footage and then I create voiceovers, so it's really easy to dub them in any language.
And you do it yourself.
The dubbing? No.
Oh, okay,
In
no.
Spanish, no. But I'm gonna do the German.
Wow. Where do you want to take all of this, by the way?
I want to IPO as a creator. I want to be the first creator who IPOs.
Really?
And start this whole NASDAQ for creators. Wow, they pay $65,000 a month for this place. But that's such a brilliant idea. And again, 10 people, we paid around $6,500 for our apartment in San Francisco, 2-bedroom. Here, you get this. But you also got neighbors who complain. I really wanted to hear that talk, but it's 8 p.m. and I need to put my babies to bed, so I'm going home. Mom's life, you know? People are asking me, what do you do when you relax? What do you normally do? I'm like, I film videos, I have meetings, but I also drive my kids around and put them to bed and feed them. Mom's life. Okay, going home. This is the best view ever. And what's also great is Tesla self-driving. I am so spoiled by this car. It just goes by itself, and the only thing you have to do is put your hands on the wheel and it does the rest. So you can think, you can eat, you can look at the view, you can enjoy the trip, you can talk to a camera. I think you can talk to a camera if you're looking at the road. I don't even know. I don't know. They don't track your eyes, so you don't have to look at the road. But it doesn't feel safe if you don't look at the road. But you can take a moment and just look around. It's crazy how a year ago I would say, like, why would you need self-driving? Like, can't you drive your own car? And now I don't understand how people would go from, like, we would drive from LA to San Francisco, 6-hour drive without any self-driving, and I'm so spoiled by it. I'm like, how can you just drive? Well, again, of course I'm kidding, but when we talk about this friction, like, we complain when the app takes 2 seconds to load. This is exactly that type of friction. Like, you have to steer, there's actually energy going into staying in the lane. There's energy going into keeping up with the speed of the other cars. And this is exactly the problem that this tiny friction problem that Tesla is solving. And you're like, wow, how can I do with that? But no, third world problems, totally agree, but I love the technology. Just look. And just look at this. Most beautiful sunset is in Silicon Valley.
In the good old summertime, in the good old summertime, working down in Lincoln Park, selling beer and wine. The art is spelled and we rejoice, and that's a very good sign.
We guys just went to Rotary Club of Las Altas meeting. So the Rotary Club of Las Altas is this gathering of older people who live here. They gather every Thursday for lunch and they have a speaker. So today we were supposed to have a speaker, entrepreneur who became investor. So those kinds of talks. And for me, like being among older people is just such a different dynamic because I'm always like creators, kids. And when I was back in Russia, when I was meeting people from the US, like members of the consulate and maybe older teachers who came over, and I was fascinated by this culture. Like they're so nice, always smiling, giving you compliments, genuinely interested in your story. And this is exactly the vibes that I'm getting here. And this is just part of the process of integrating into this new country. And I'm definitely bringing down the age. So I'm thinking of becoming a member of this club. And you know how they found out about me? And that's amazing. So if you remember, if you follow me on Instagram, if you don't follow me on Instagram, please pause right here, follow me there. Because so much of my life is happening on Instagram. But anyways, I was featured in Los Altas Town Crier, and there was like this small picture of me on the cover. And one of the members saw me and she invited me to one of the parties. And I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And when I was featured on this cover, my husband was like, this is your best cover, because like people in Los Altas are amazing. A lot of them are entrepreneurs, changing the world, early employees in huge corporations. This is just this amazing new world for me. So yeah, new part of my life, probably new club, but I don't know, like I still have to apply and they still have to accept me. Quick question for you guys. What is your favorite thing on this channel? Why are you watching this channel? Please comment. Because what I see right now, like my shorts are taking off like crazy. They're getting millions of views. And like, do I even have to create more long videos? I love this, by the way. This is my favorite format because when you have 60 seconds, you say something and people see a completely different thing. I don't know if you watched the Iced Coffee Hour we made with Graham and Jack. But anyways, when I was chatting with them on this podcast, I told them that I made a video about Tesla. Hello Tesla. And I say Tesla instead of saying car. And people started laughing at me. They're like, oh, how many times did she say Tesla? Oh, which make do you have? Can you repeat? I don't know about you guys, but I call my phone iPhone. This is a Tesla, we have another car, and I will call it by its make, just to make it clear. Are you driving the Tesla today or are you driving the other car? I'm saying all this because when you make short videos, you only have 60 seconds to express yourself, but people see it a completely different thing. With these videos, we talk like friends. And it's a lot easier for me. And I love this format. But I'm also like, if I have 1 hour of shooting a day, do I create this or do I focus on creating short content? Do I optimize for views or I optimize for something you're looking for? So let me know in the comments down below what you are looking for. I'm getting a lot of compliments on my look today. My purse is getting a lot of compliments. It's really heavy, but I think it's great. And I got new glasses. Hi girls. I know, right? It's so funny how 2 years ago I would never care about what I wear, and these days I really like dressing up. I really like putting on makeup. Different phases that we go through. Okay, the plan for today is to have lunch with my husband. He's joining me. Then I have a meeting with a startup I really want to work with, a charity startup. And the guy that co-founded it, I met him at this Carrot event in LA, and he's the ex-CEO of Wealthfront. So he's an amazing guy in tech. So we're gonna meet and we're gonna talk about how I can help the startup. And then massage. It's well, this is not a typical work day. Normally I would just sit at home in my studio and make all the videos, but today I'm mobile. Hi. Good, how are you? Thank you.
Hi, welcome in.
Thank you. Hi.
Table for two?
Yes. When I came to the US, I was struggling to find food that I was used to, like eating soups. In my culture, we eat soups all the time, and it was hard to find the right soup here because most of the soups are like chicken noodle puree or miso soup. But here it was this place in Los Altas is the best. Look at this. Proper beef soup. This goes with chipures like this. This.
And so this is where I was like, would you like water or anything?
I'm good, thank you. Maybe I will grab some water on the way back.
So this is our little room.
Nice, I like it.
And so this is Adam, his podcast mic.
Nice. This cute little kitchen. I really want a similar office for myself, like for filming and having people come over. But definitely not Los Altos, because this would be inconvenient for most of the people who live in San Francisco. So at this Carrot event, I connected with Daffy, the company that helps you invest in charities. Something that I want to start doing publicly, but I'm still like, because this is so, I don't even know. It's like, it's very close to heart, like the charities that I support. So I wasn't like too vocal about them in my vlogs. So it's a good starting point. We were discussing how I can become an advisor and would love to be part of that company. Super exciting. It's just super exciting being, and they're in Los Altos, by the way. This is like the first business meeting I had in Los Altos. I think not a lot of companies are here. Most companies are like San Francisco, Mountain View, Palo Alto. But Los Altos is actually a great place for a company if you don't have too many meetings with people who need to commute from San Francisco or other places. All right, so I'm gonna hear from them soon, hopefully become an advisor, and now we're off to a massage. I think anywhere where we live, Silicon Valley especially, even online, there are so many distracting things, so many opinions about you. And like, this is something we discuss all the time with my husband. We just had like I like doing lunches with him to just think macro. Because on a daily basis, and I think I've talked about this in these videos here on this channel, people raise rounds, people do things, and you're like, am I missing out on something? What really helps me and what really helps him is like switching off the amount of information we consume. Because you wake up in the morning and check out your feed, you check out your subscriptions, and like this information starts controlling your day. Like you saw someone getting married or having a kid and you're struggling with this. Like your whole day is predicated on what you saw in the morning. This doesn't have to be your reality. And this is why when I went to Miami, when we went there for 3 weeks, I was so relaxed, and I was able to connect with myself. And I think when you switch off all the external factors, when you get away from the place where you live, and this is why I love studying abroad that much, it's not just getting away from the place, also getting away from people who surround you and your language. But anyways, when you travel, you connect with yourself and with your wishes, and all this white noise around you, all of the perceptions about you that come from other people, they just disappear. And you become your true self. You're like, oh, I actually want to do fashion. Like, I love fashion. Like, this is a very easy example. I love fashion, but because I was in Silicon Valley, I was like, everybody wears leggings or, sports things, very casual. And I was like, okay, why should I stand out? But now I actually like it. I'm like, this is my statement. Because I traveled, because I started working with a stylist who's from Paris, who doesn't have this mindset, Silicon Valley. At the same time, what I love in Silicon Valley, they're all entrepreneurial. They're all thinking about changing the world. And you start thinking macro. And you start asking yourself, I'm doing this, where is it leading me in 5 years? And it's so important to change environments. This is why we travel, right? This is why we try to even get away for the weekend. Connect with yourself. Even if you can't get away, stop checking your social media profiles for a couple weeks. Like, your life is gonna be so different. Just self-discovery. And yeah, it's a creator advising you to stop checking your social media accounts. And what also helped me a lot, because sometimes when you follow toxic people, ask yourself, how did this make me feel? Like, if that made you, if you saw something and it made you like, oh, I need to work on this, but I don't really want to do it, but I want the same results. The feeling that people should give you is like, I'm in love with my life and this is my foundation to take off. Not like, oh my God, I need to accomplish this, this, and that. I want to be like that person, like that person. It's about loving yourself and loving your life and appreciating who you are without trying to be somebody else and without trying to achieve something just to show off. And once you switch off all of the external factors, it's so much easier to connect with yourself. And once you're in that mindset, think about your bigger goals. This is my place for the next hour. Self-care, the most important thing. Yes, please. Wow, that was so good. I was thinking about my next level. I do something, and then I ask myself, if I want to 10x my result, where do I focus? So I started thinking about that, and I went into like kind of this meditation mode and asked for half an hour extra. And they're so nice they didn't charge me for this extra half an hour, which is it's just so nice that people do things like this, because I was able to like focus and brainstorm a lot. So I think these moments as an entrepreneur, they're really important for anyone, because you're running, but like sit down and strategize. I think two things that helped me a lot with that, for my voice is so weird. First of all, like doing my monthly finance, like looking where I'm at, and then ask myself where I want to be, where I want to take this, what's the end goal, and like really feeling which goal resonates. Because sometimes if you want to, for example, 10x your income, and you're looking at what you're currently doing and you just see no way and at 10x in your income, like if you are providing services by hour, like in order for you to 10x this is to 10x either the amount of hours or the amount you charge. And sometimes both are impossible because of the market conditions, and you're like, oh, I should come up with a course that I'm gonna sell for $2,000 to corporate people. The next level is always not about doubling down on hours, it's about thinking about something else you could do within your niche or within your business, or maybe starting something else. And for me, these moments happen every year when I'm like, okay, how am I getting to the next level? And this was one of the defining moments. I think I need some more like thinking about all of this, but seeing the next steps is already great. But like I need to see the steps. So one of the steps that I saw, I'm gonna talk to the team right away. And I think the main point for me, like, how do I know this is the right next step? If I want to execute right away, like right away, tell my team this is what we're gonna do. That's the thing. If I'm like, oh, that sounds like a cool business idea, maybe in a week, no. I'm not passionate about it. Not gonna do it. But when it's like right away, I know the actionable steps, that is it. I'm gonna go home because Dima just picked up Emily from daycare and she's gonna freak out that I'm not home. She hates it when I'm not home. It's gonna be a drama. So I'm driving back home as quickly as legally as I can. See you soon, guys.